Sugar fasting day right here. 3 pounds of apples. Currently eating one, which is huge. 3 pounds of apples. Just so people understand calories, you don't have to count them, but 3 pounds of apples is about 700-ish calories. Maybe a little less, maybe a little more. Straight carbs, very little protein, almost zero fat. And then I had some leftover watermelon. This will be like the first official like sugar only fast day I've done. I did have a little bit of protein and some other pure carb sources with starch in them, just a little bit of pretzels, and a little, tiny bit of chips that was left over from my girlfriend's like treat package we got through the mail. But otherwise, it's just going to be straight carbs from here. I will say, tracking most of my macronutrients through carbs, my energy is absolutely through the roof. I did 30,000 steps yesterday, which is insane because if I didn't like force myself to just be active, I would get maybe like 1,000 to 2,000 steps a day. I am completely sedentary otherwise. I don't get up, I don't do anything. So pretty much in my town, I walk. If it's not raining or it's not super cold out or snowy, I walk to the grocery store. I get whatever I'm gonna eat for the day. I get from the store. Today I did drive because it was raining, so I got these apples. I have another unopened watermelon in there that I might eat later tonight. And that's one way I get my steps in. Another way is if I'm watching a movie, I just get on the treadmill. Walking is so easy to do. And I think Joe Rogan said like watching movies on a treadmill is like a cheat code. And it really is. Anything. I got a bike behind me, a recumbent bike. You just sit on there, watch a movie, you don't even think about it. You could even do it with hard cardio too. It might be hard to pay attention to what you're watching in front of you, but if you're on the sugar diet, you should have a lot more energy to put out some good numbers and burn some calories on there and just be active. I wouldn't even worry about burning the calories. I would just worry about getting better endurance, getting a stronger heart. Who cares about the calories? If you're doing the sugar diet, the calories are going to come all from the diet you're eating yourself. So if you ate this and a whole watermelon for a day, you're way under 2,000 calories. You are way under 2,000 calories for sure. No doubt about it. And I can say I ate a ton of food yesterday, a ton of food. I was just bored. That happens to all of us. We get bored, we want to eat whatever. But it was whole foods. It was watermelon, blueberries. My girlfriend did have some treats in here, so I did have some of those, which normally wouldn't be a part of the diet. But well, all in all, I was around 4,000 to 4,500 calories, and I was eating all day, like all day, and I felt full probably, honestly, in the morning. I just kept eating. But when you're doing a sugar fast day like I am today, my goal is to sort of feel good, get energy from the straight carbs I'm getting from the watermelon and the apples. Gonna get really hydrated from the watermelon. Gonna get hydrated from the apples. I'm not gonna go for like 30,000 steps like I did yesterday. That's kind of like an outlier day. But I'm still gonna walk, maybe get 15,000 steps, maybe 20,000. And then the rest of the week, I'll gauge how I feel. But I'm gonna try to do mainly just sugar fasting days for the rest of the week. On days I work out, I'll have protein, a decent amount. But on sugar fast days, I won't have that much. Like today, I had some yogurt with some protein powder, which was maybe 500 calories, and I'm at about 100 to 120 grams of protein. And I weigh about as much as Mark Bell does. He's a little bit heavier than me, definitely leaner than me, but he says that's how much he gets. He is on a decent amount of steroids. We don't know what he's on, but at least he's on something. so that helps for sure. But um, he just released a video with Stan Efferding, and that dude's a wealth of knowledge. Also big on anabolics, using them. But he talks about how probably the protein that you take in isn't nearly as important as the training stimulus, meaning your workout. So if you want to get pedantic and worry about something, worry about training hard versus your protein, right? Like if you don't feel like eating and you feel full for the day, forget it. Just who cares about protein? If your goal is weight loss, who cares about protein if you feel full and you feel fine, right? Don't worry about it. Continue training, sticking to the sugar diet, and you'll be absolutely fine. I watched Colt's video last night, sort of talking about how people are bastardizing the sugar diet. So he kind of laid it out as to what it is. So basically, for him, if you're doing the sugar diet, unless you're super lean, don't even worry about protein at all. Don't even worry about protein at all. I think he throws in those meat days here and there just so people can, eat those kinds of foods. But if you're not super lean, super shredded, he says, do not worry about getting in those high amounts of protein or really protein on a day-to-day basis. Get all your calories and energy from your carb sources, sugar fasting, sugar dieting. So that if you wanted to eat straight watermelon, straight apples, you could do that. He says cut the starches. And if you don't even like eating starch, then you don't even worry about it. But maybe you like eating potatoes, you like eating oatmeal. If you're not losing weight, cut them. That's what he says. So cut them out and stick with the wet fruits, watermelon, apples, canned fruits kind of, but you got to be careful with the syrups in there. But if you're losing weight with them, who cares? So that's what he says. So if you're going to do a sugar fasting day, that's what the template would be. So if you wanted to do it, 3 pounds of apples, whatever your favorite apple is, and say a watermelon. You could do that for a day. It's also about the adherence to it, right? So like if I didn't like apples, but I was like, man, I got to do this sugar diet. I don't really like apples, but that's one of the fruits I got to eat, so I'm going to do it. I'm probably not going to stick to it, but I love apples, so that's easy for me to do. I love watermelon. That's easy for me to do. So if you told me for maybe 3 days a week, all I have to do is eat apples the whole day, I could 100% do it. Especially if it's a day I'm at work. Because for me, normally I don't eat at work. That's fine. And if I do, maybe I'll come home, have some watermelon, and then I'll go back to work. And then when I come home at night, I'll just have some more watermelon. All right? And that'll just be a part of the sugar fasting day. That's the simplest way to do it. If you want to do a sugar fasting day, pick one fruit, your favorite fruit, and eat that the whole day. Don't be like, I got to eat as much as I have to. Eat it here and there. Eat it when you want, right? But eat that one food. That works great with almost any dieting schematic. If you're going to do like a protein-only day, if for whatever reason you wanted to do that, do protein powder. Do only protein powder. Do only chicken breast. Do only pork chops. Do that. You're probably not going to overeat on them, and then if you try, you're probably only going to eat at maintenance. And if you're eating pure protein, the leanest sources of protein, you're going to burn a lot of calories just from digesting it. Energy's not going to be there, but you're going to burn a lot of calories just from ingesting a gross amount of protein. But still, I think that's the easiest way to do these fasting days. Just choose one, maybe 2 types of food, and eat that all throughout the day. So for me, I know I did protein powder. Honestly, I'm just trying to get rid of it. So I wanted to have some with yogurt because I don't want the yogurt to go bad. I didn't really have that much of it. Like I said, 500 calories, real small. And then apples and watermelon. That's it. And I'm about halfway through my day already. So I doubt I'm even at 1,000 calories right now. And that's really all I'm going to eat throughout the rest of the day. I'll eat when I'm hungry. I'll eat when I feel like it. And I don't have to worry about the calories because it's just straight carbs. That's the beauty of these diets. And that's the beauty of the carnivore diet, because when you cut out a whole macronutrient, it allows you to eat more of a single food source and you get satiated from it. And plus, who wants to just keep eating the same thing over and over again? Like if you told me I had to eat 36 eggs in a day, I could 100% do that easily. But am I going to want to? I would have to force myself to eat 36 eggs. And 36 eggs, I think, is around 3,000 calories, which really isn't that much. It's really not. If you put some butter in there, maybe it'll be around 3,300, 3,400 if you're very conservative with the butter. Still not that many calories. But imagine eating 3 dozen eggs, right? Well, that's the beauty. So with a sugar fasting diet, you're only really eating carbs. There's no protein on most of your days. If you're doing what Cole says, you're having lean meat here and there on certain days, and it's not like it's a gross amount of protein either. It's like half your body weight, sometimes even lower, just a couple pieces of meat here with vegetables. But mainly it's just straight carbs, and carbs are 4 calories per gram, and they make you feel full and they give you a ton of energy. So you do that with protein. Again, you do it with only protein, you're gonna have a ton of protein, no energy, because it takes a ton of energy to digest protein, and then protein takes, it takes a lot of work to take protein to energy, and it's a mess. It's a mess when you do these protein-only diets. I've done them before for a week at a time. You feel fine, but after like a week, you can really feel yourself getting drained, for sure. So I don't think long-term they're very useful unless you're either incredibly inactive or you've got a lot of body weight to lose. But if you want to have energy and stay active, man, this simple diet is the way to go. So go back, reiterate, sugar fasting diet, pick 1 or 2 foods, make sure they're your favorite fruits, favorite wet fruit, carb source, whatever it is, as long as it's something along these lines: peaches, pears, pineapples, bananas, you can kind of do, apples, watermelon, cantaloupe, melon, something like that. Do that. Eat until you feel fine. I would definitely say make sure you're exercising a little bit. That would be, walking around your block, especially if you haven't started doing that, just start doing it. And if you think you're too heavy to do that, get a recumbent bike where you can sit down and just move your arms and your legs. You will burn a ton of calories if you haven't started doing that. And you weigh a lot, because you get your body in motion, your body's gonna start utilizing all this energy, and you're gonna start burning more energy along with it. And then protein days, just have it when you want. Maybe you want to go out to eat with your family or your friends. You're going to a Mexican restaurant, you're going to Texas Roadhouse. I don't know where you live. Have a steak. Don't even care if it's lean or not. Who gives a crap? Just have the steak, have the bread, the carbs there, whatever. And then the next day, go straight back onto your sugar fasting diet. Don't even stress about it. Who cares? As long as on a week-to-week basis, you're seeing the scale go down, you'll be absolutely fine. So I'll have another video coming soon with somebody that I'm actually helping, a close friend of mine, start this diet and sort of see her progress. And we'll see where she's at. She's been doing it for about 4 weeks. So we'll talk about that, but just wanted to show this today. Apples, watermelon, sugar fasting.